Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are, another but glorious installment of Wildwood at Home, or Chewing the Gristle with Gregory Cockery, whatever we're going to call it. We're here with the mega Mateus Asato, who I discovered, like most people, on the inner Google, on Instagram. One day I'm scrolling down, I see this fella playing, and all of a sudden my head just went... I just thought, what the heck is going on here? There was so much stuff like in a 10-second period of time that went by with just beautiful chord inversions, cool but tasteful, flashy little morsels just to punctuate things and so on and so forth. I said, who is this dude? And discovered, like so many other people, the phenomenon. Anyways, just become a huge fan ever since. And I was so gassed that we got to play with each other. That sounds weird. We got to jam with each other. Thanks so much for joining us. Where are you right now? Are you back in Brazil?
Yeah. So I'm actually in Brazil. I'm at my girlfriend's place. This is an amazing wall, by the way.
I like it. It's majestic.
Yeah. So I'm here since March, actually. I remember, so in the end of February, I went to Indonesia to play at this jazz festival called Java Jazz. And I remember when I came back to Los Angeles, it was like all apocalyptical with this, right. You remember that all the paper toilets and everything was gone. And I was like, dude, what the frick's going on?
Right.
And that kind of freaked me out. I was like, geez, what should I do? And then my mom was all scared as well. And, all my family were just like, yo, what's up?
Get out of there now.
So I decided to come back to Brazil. And I remember a day after I landed in Brazil, American Airlines and all like the big travel companies from America, they pretty much canceled all the international flights. So I was like, dang it, that was right on time. But yeah, so I'm kind of stuck here because now that things are getting bad here, so now I can't go back to the US. So
right.
It seems that I'm going to stay here for a little more, but
yeah, these are definitely strange times without a doubt.
But thankfully we met this year, dude.
Absolutely.
At the NAMM show. And wow, that was definitely a moment for me because, so you told me that you found me on Instagram. And I know this sounds very lame for my part, but when I found you, it was actually when you did a reveal of my signature model. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, my guitar never got that played so well before. I
don't know about that, but that's a great guitar. I mean, that was one of those things where I started playing it. It had all the things I like in a guitar. So I really felt at home in it. Plus I knew it was your guitar, so I better play it good.
I'm that serious. It sounded so amazing that I was like, dang, like what a shame, because I this is the first time that I'm hearing Greg playing, and wow. And then the Sir guys made us the connection, and then thankfully it worked out and we had that little jam moment. And it's crazy because I do get a lot of feedbacks from that jam all the time. People are just like, dude, I love the flow and all those things. It was just amazing, man. Playing with you was a lesson learned. I was just like, dang it. Every time you're just coming up with a different motif or, all your informations, you're just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? It was so beautiful. And
likewise, my friend. It was inspirational to get to play with you, and hopefully we'll do it again.
I really hope so, man. I really hope so. But yeah, how's everything with you guys?
Everything's okay. I have 4 kids, and of which you're I'm old enough to be your dad at this particular juncture in time, but My oldest is actually a year younger than you are. So he's the one that
Wow.
plays drums with me. So you see him in a few of the videos and our gig videos and whatnot. But all of the kids are home now. So we're,
Wow.
it's a full house. We kind of have to divvy up who's doing what during the day because my wife's working up in the attic, and I've got another daughter that's working from home, and then one's going to summer school, and one plays sax and is a jazz so there's all kinds of stuff going on. But it's fun. I mean, it's one of those things where, a few months back before the pestilence hit, I had one kid at home. And he was working all the time. I was like, oh my God, I'm almost an empty nester. And then kapow, they're all back home and probably will be for the foreseeable future. But it's fun. I'm sure we'll all look back at this and go, remember that one time when we were all at home together for a year?
That's crazy. Yeah, we feel the same way. My mom especially, she was always missing me the most because I'm the only kid that left Brazil.
Okay.
So I was the first one, and she was always like, oh my gosh, I miss you. And now that I'm back, so she's just like, well, if there is at least one thing to consider positive on this is the fact that you're back home, because now, I'm just spending so much time with her, with, my parents. So it's just crazy because, especially after the meals, after lunch or dinner, we always spend a lot of time on the table, just like speaking about like random stuff. And it's, at least for me, it's so nice to have that family time, because it's been 7 years since I moved to LA. So right. I don't remember having those moments so constantly, Right. So it's actually a good moment for me, especially like for this family atmosphere. So at least that, but I totally agree with you. I'm pretty sure probably, 5 years, 10 years later, we're going to be like, wow, remember that year?
Right.
So that's 2020, man. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that's probably fortunate for both of us is that so much of our stuff is done online. And so a lot of what you did, you could still keep doing. Am I right? Because you've still been posting videos and stuff from where you're at.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah. At least it's kind of crazy for me, honestly, because on this year in particular, I remember like when it was like the beginning of at the end of 2019, I was like, okay, cool. 2020 is going to be the year where I'm not going to post much on online, because I still carry this weight of not releasing anything. So I don't have any album. I don't have any music out. And I was planning big time on releasing something this year. So I had all this scheduled for this year. So right after NAMM, I played in Indonesia. But then when I was supposed to have a lot of songwriter sessions, and unfortunately that couldn't happen. So it was kind of like frustrated in a bit. But then I was like, oh, well, at least it's not something that I need to get adapted, because I'm, that's what I do pretty much. I know I tour with some artists here and there, but, playing on and making videos is something very regular in my schedule, so I was like in my routine. So to me, it was nothing that crazy, like in terms of adaptations and something like that. So to me, it was pretty much like, okay, yeah, just keep doing this for another year and everything should be fine.